For those of you that have been watching this channel for a while know that I don't deal in tinfoil hat, conspiracy-based notions. I try to stick with the facts, reasoned ideas, as well as helpful things with respect to firearms and other items. This video is a wake-up call and a warning that suggests that you now need to pay attention to the kind of messaging that is in an organized way put out in all of the media, all of the entertainment venues around the world. Stay tuned and I will tell you more about this organization. Organization that affects what everyone sees, whether it's television, radio, print, any kind of entertainment around the world, is organized by the Entertainment Industries Council. I had no clue that such an organization existed until a week ago, and I actually discovered it by accident looking for some other information on the internet. And I said, that just can't be right. Well, the mission of the Entertainment Industries Council is to bring the power and influence of the entertainment industry and the news media to better communicate about health and social issues, which is a broad bucket, right? Now, what makes this important to us in the Second Amendment arena is that there are those who want to define anything that has to do with firearms as a disease or a health issue, like you need an inoculation or a vaccine, right? They also put it in the bucket of a social issue. What does that mean? Well, some of what you're going to find out in a minute. So the issue of firearms is now being addressed through all of the communication media that affect us and anyone else who is getting some kind of information about firearms from this one organization whose mission it is to engineer and encourage a particular worldview about firearms. There are other things too, but I only care about firearms and the Second Amendment in this country. Now, this organization was founded in 1983, by the so-called leaders in the entertainment industry. I looked at the list, and by the way, I'll provide a link to their website and the documents that I'm about to share with you down below, but it reads like a who's who of everybody that hates guns in the country. It's crazy, scary crazy, so pay attention. So their mission is to encourage the entertainment industry to more effectively address and accurately depict major health and social issues. Accuracy with respect to firearms, and based on what? What kind of information? Think Bloomberg. 2, serve as a bridge for information between the entertainment industry and public policy members. Read that as right-wing progressive Democrats who hate guns. There's the Hollywood link that folks have been complaining about, and I thought they were just batshit crazy, so I didn't pay attention until now. And now you should pay attention. 3, be instrumental in affecting social change through providing educational materials, research and training for the entertainment industry. In other words, this organization is going to train the entertainment industry on what to say and how to think about those issues that they consider important. Read that as we're going to tell you what to think and write and how to portray things that have to deal with firearms. 4, promote and recognize the accomplishments of the entertainment industry in addressing public health and social issues. In other words, we're going to reward you, we're going to bring you on stage and rah-rah if you do what we tell you, and you do what we tell you well. And 5th, develop programs to foster volunteerism to support public and private partnerships designed to serve the entertainment industry workplace and further enhance the industry's outreach to the general public. Now that's a mouthful, but it means we want to work with people who's going to give us money so we can continue to do this work. And with respect to guns and firearms and the Second Amendment, we want to work with people who are going to help us reframe the message in a way that we think is correct. Now, a primary tool that's used by the Entertainment Industries Council is a document that they call Depictions Suggestions. And Depiction Suggestions are ideas and ways for writers, script writers, people who are writing for the on-camera talent, how to depict the subject the way we think it should be. Now, with respect to guns, this is a very long list, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll give you some examples, and then you can please go to the link, amaze yourself, and then be pissed off, and then pay very close attention every time you hear or see anyone, whether it's in the news or entertainment or anything in print, talk about a gun-related incident or a gun-related theme, right? You're going to have to do your own critical thinking at this point. Hopefully you've been trained in that somewhere. So, they want writers and people who are putting the idea out to do something like attempt to highlight alternative resolutions to conflict rather than relying on gunplay as the only or automatic means of settling confrontations, as if that's the norm anyway. Where'd they get that? Clashes can be resolved by other less lethal means, perhaps by characters using their wits and cunning to overcome opponents. Please, Mr. Burglar, please, Mr. Person got a gun in my face. Please don't hurt me, bang, bang. Well, I did try to reason with him, right? That is an example of an unreasonable expectation to put in the minds of someone that you can talk your way out of a violent confrontation that somebody's is threatening you with death, injury, that kind of thing. Talk your way out of it. Another one, consider highlighting the emotional consequences for the shooter, such as feelings of guilt, remorse, personal angst, and so on. I feel bad because I just shot somebody. Duh. Consider incorporating such real-life scenarios as the shooter or prosecutor of a gun being the shooter or possessor of a gun being accidentally injured by it. Now keep in mind, once these depictions are put out there, most people and most sheeple accept them as the norm and the dominant way that firearms are dealt with in this country, which is just not true. Consider the story potential that might exist in a family filing suit against the gun manufacturer for injuries or death sustained by a defective firearm that misfired. Now, if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the New England area, where there is an absolute effort to try to sue firearm manufacturers for some other person who happens to use the product in an unlawful way, which really says you shouldn't have made the damn gun in the first place. Shouldn't have made it in the first place. Now we're going to sue you. But the Entertainment Industries Council is saying, consider the story potential for someone suing a manufacturer. Come on. Try emphasizing the fact that introducing a gun into an argument lethalizes anger. What could have been resolved with just harsh words or even cuts and bruises may end up with a death. Guns don't allow for cooling off or reconciling once the momentary or situational anger subsides. Don't start nothing, won't bring nothing. You don't touch yours, I don't touch mine. Right? Every person that goes to training with firearms, especially those for concealed carry, is taught about the rules of engagement for the use of deadly force. You cannot bump titties with somebody and get mad and then pull your gun. You cannot get into a fight because a fight is mutual combat. You cannot use deadly force in mutual combat. Right? You can't. If you do, it's murder. Right? Now, these people don't get that. They don't get that. Real men don't use guns. Where have you heard that bullshit before? Here's one that I know you've seen. I know you've seen a billion times, right? Consider reflecting the reality that homeowners often freeze up or tremble so badly when trying to use a gun in self-defense that they're unable to deploy it. Or show them as being too frozen in fear to even get the gun. Where's my gun? Man, how many times have you seen that crazy shit? Right? I know I've seen it way too many times. And you know what? It's usually the woman that's shown in that condition, which is unfair to women, at least some women I know that know how to shoot pretty well, and they're homeowners. Come on. Come on. Where appropriate to the story, consider portraying a teenage girl threatening to break up with her boyfriend unless he gets rid of his gun, or a boy doing the same thing with a gun-owning girlfriend. So the entertainment industry is saying that guns are so evil and people are so bad who have them, notwithstanding the fact that it's a constitutional right to have them, keep them, shoot them, have fun with them, have sex with them if you want to. I am an homosexual. That it's bad. It's wrong to have a gun. And unless you get rid of yours, I'm leaving you. Well, shit, you didn't want her anyway. Really? Okay. Here's a good one. Have you remember the Saturday Night Special, right? Those fictitious, mythical guns. The only thing special about them is that they were inexpensive. Because not everybody can afford to spend $300, $400, $500 for a pistol, right? Now, what these folks are saying is consider occasionally having a junk, in quotes, gun misfire or jam at critical times, God damn it, click, as these guns are prone to do after a period of use, which is just not true. Inexpensive doesn't mean unreliable. Not today. Any manufacturer who put out a firearm that was at risk of doing this kind of stuff, in other words, not working when you need it to work, right, would be out of business. And oh, by the way, many of them have. There are no junk guns in the American market today. They are inexpensive firearms, and there should be, but they are reliable and dependable. They don't have all the whistles and bells and toys on them, and they are safe. Unlike what these yahoos are talking about. How about this? Consider having characters successfully use alternative to guns for self-defense, such as pepper spray or mace. Now, I know that those tools are out there, and when you cannot have a firearm, something is better than nothing. But if you have a choice to be armed with a firearm or armed with mace, you don't go with that. And there are plenty of reasons not to. Because things happen in seconds and you don't have a chance to, pull that stuff up. I even gave away my Taser C2 because it just was not a practical alternative. And maybe I'll go do another video on that, on why I made that decision. Here's a sneaky one. Consider portraying a gun manufacturer making the right decision in choosing to design a safer firearm. Now, I don't know about you, but I see lots and lots of manufacturers, and none of the firearms that they make are unsafe. They're just not, They're just not. What these guys are talking about is smart guns. Now, to be fair, some of the depictions that are in the document are things that you hear and you are trained not to do or to consider as you get your concealed carry permit or other firearms training that you go through. And I know that's been true and I've been trained a lot. And some of the things that they talk about are good and make a lot of sense, and it's no harm in reinforcing those things that you should have been trained on in the first place. However, understand that some of the messaging used and encouraged by these folks come from anti-gun sources, both the data and the message. And you need to be armed with some of this information so you can think critically and independently yourself. I hope this was somewhat helpful and enlightening. I know it was for me. Give me your comments down below. Check out the link down below for the Entertainment Industries Council. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Carry on.